Aloha, everyone.
Aloha.
Aloha. Thank you so much. I think we gave enough time. I think everybody is on that I saw accept. Perfect. Okay. Thank you guys so much. We just take a few minutes. It's really short, but I just like to explain, what this is so that you have a better sense. Because I don't think there's anything like this that exists, and we're not a normal nonprofit. I've come from the business side of the world, helped to launch Expedia in Hawaii, built this technology as a means to help the connection. It is not the be all end all. It's really about 30% of the solution. And from there, it's about us connecting. So I really take this time to meet you guys and to understand what you're trying to do so that everything is customized. But at the end of the day, it's really great because everything's tracked. You have all the metrics that you could need real time. You're able to get out to everyone. You may have a targeted audience. Hey, I really want to connect with Title I in the west side of Oahu. But meanwhile, by posting yourself on there, you're connecting with Title I in the Big Island, and you didn't know that there would be a big interest for your entity there. So lots of opportunities. But mahalo for being here. I will do a quick overview, get you familiar with the system, and then from there you'll be able to dive in. Quick question before we start: does everyone already have access to the platform?
I don't think I have access yet.
Okay.
I opened a profile, but I'm not sure totally.
No, you don't need to do anything. That would be on our team side. So okay. I'm just double checking that my team sent it ahead of time. But we'll get it to you as soon as this call is over. We'll create you and get you set up.
Thank you.
Real quick, I'm just going to go around. Can I just know a little bit about your company so I target this correctly? We can start with Kaipo if you don't mind, Kaipo.
Hi, I'm Officer Kaipo Arello. I'm with the Community Relations Big Island Hawaii Police Department. Formerly, you may have been dealing with Sergeant Grounds, Jason Grounds, if that name sounds familiar. But so that's the same section. He transferred out, but that's the same section I'm currently working in. So really, it has to do with just recruiting like future applicants for police force as well as dispatchers.
Real quick, your future applicants, what age do they need to be?
So dispatchers, they can be, and they're called police communication officers. Now it has to do with a pay bump that they got, but that can be 18 years old. Police officers are still 21 years old, but 20 and a half at the time of application, because the time of length in training, they should turn 21 by the time they hit the road.
Okay, great. And then Kaipo, you said Big Island. Are you west side primarily?
I'm on the east side. I'm stationed out of Hilo, but okay. Yeah. I'm admin for the department as a whole.
As a whole, so you're hiring both sides?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, you got open officer communication positions right now?
Yeah, for the communication officers, aka dispatchers, and police officers, they're both on continuous recruitment as of now.
Okay. So I'll share more, but we're in that process right now of getting kids hired, so we're sending them out. And good to know because we have a whole bunch from East and West Hawaii, all 18, right, seniors. I want to add you into that mix of options for them.
Okay, okay.
Perfect. Okay, is it Marufa?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, nice to meet you all. My name is Marufa Akhtar and I'm an analog astronaut and founder and CEO of Everest Innovation Lab in Hawaii. The name of the mountain is Everest, but the geographical location is important here because in Hawaii we find all nationalities. And it's been 5 years. I'm training to become astronaut. Recently, I just got back from Arizona from the training, on-site training. So I want to inspire people to learn about space because it's kind of like billion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar industry, and it's expanding so fast. I have friends, they're astronauts and CEOs, but it's basically just knowing who's up there in space and kind of training and learning about it. So yeah.
Oh, excellent. Marufa, where are you located on Oahu?
Honolulu.
How big is your team?
I'm the founder. I have a co-founder, and I have a web developer. He is out of US, so I'm kind of looking for an accountant and web developer, but also a group of students I can train would be really cool because I love just engaging with young people. I think they're the future, right? So
awesome. I've got an amazing opportunity for you coming up really quickly that I'd love to see if you're available for. And as I'm just doing this because you guys will see, we do over 800 events a year. So there's constantly opportunities. And I like to make it not like an A to B, right? It goes all over, but it's about putting that exposure into our keiki as soon as possible so that they can get to that B point. But they might be circuitous and doing different things, and they also don't realize they're looking for something at that moment. So we like to provide all these different ways for them to consume careers. And on May 23rd, if you're available, it's all free, but I'm putting on an exposure, like a little blitz of exposure for the entire intermediate school at IAEA Intermediate. So that's in IAEA, and so not far from you, like 15 minutes. And we're exposing the entire school. So in groups of 150, they're going to come for 30-minute increments, and I have about 10 entities that are going to be there, including Hawaiian Airlines and the health systems, and would love to have you from your Everest Innovation Lab perspective for space to be able to inspire them for careers in this area.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll share more with you.
I do judging science project. It's been 5 years or more. I love interacting with kids. They're so smart. They're like little scientists.
Okay, I'll share that with you for May 23rd. Okay, and then Sam.
Hi, I'm Sam Sneed. I'm a director and attorney at ESNA Inc. We're a Honolulu-based law firm, but we service clients throughout the Asia Pacific region. We like to say that we service the back of house. And so every organization, whether it's government, private, for-profit, nonprofit, doesn't matter what size, doesn't matter what industry, we have clients, all sizes, shapes, industries, you name it. Everybody has a back of house where they run their accounting, where they handle their people, where they make decisions about what their organization is going to do and how they're going to do it. So we service that. We interface with boards of directors, executives, all the way down to line, boots on the ground people. We do training, we do legal representation, but really what we try to do is we try to rethink how law should be practiced to help clients get where they want to be, like help clients figure out what they want to be when they grow up and then get there. So we do that for organizations. Individually, our attorneys and our paraprofessionals also have professional networks that we do a lot of volunteering with. It's been a few years, but I think 2019, we had put on a workforce development conference where we get a lot of our client contacts and their respective organizations. Again, across all industries, we've had literal mom and pop startup R&D that do like research for Air Force Development Lab, all the way to like multinationals that happen to have a foothold here. And they'll send people, and then they can go meet students. They can go see other smaller businesses that are launching and looking to get out into the world. So we try to foster those connections, both between organizations and between the people that are physically here. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Okay. So I'll share, and again, you can slice and dice. So my background, as I mentioned, is Expedia. So I built these connections so that you can isolate to as little or as many as you'd like. So you can help statewide, you can make yourself available, or if you want to make yourself just to high school, you know what, Julie, our conversations are a lot, we don't know how to talk to elementary school. Mind you, I will help you if you, everyone is amazing at all of it. But sometimes people are like, you know what, we're better at high school and post-secondary. You can choose wherever and whomever you'd like to speak with. So we'll dive into more of that. But thank you so much. I can't wait to learn more about everything you're doing and everyone you're helping. That's awesome. Radel, I think it's, or Anna.
Yeah, it's Anna. Hi, Julie. We've
Hi.
met before. I used to work for Gourmet Events Hawaii.
Okay.
I'm very familiar with your program. I've done career events with you folks before. So I'm now with Raising Cane's, well, under Panda Restaurant Group. They own the franchises for Raising Cane's in Hawaii, Alaska, and Guam. So I'm hiring for crew level and all manager levels in Hawaii, Alaska, and Guam.
Awesome. Okay, Anna, perfect timing. We've got all the students that, as I mentioned, through typo.
Yeah.
And then you're just Oahu?
I am Oahu and Maui.
Okay, we got both for you. So definitely, I will follow up with you after to make sure we touch base and I bring you into all these hiring blitzes. Okay, great. Anybody else on that I'm not seeing? Okay, I'm just gonna give you your overview. Anna, if you're comfortable and you already know the platform and you just need the access, you know, totally up to you. Not offended if you jump off, but I'm happy to send you everything, your access right after.
Yes, that'd be great.
Okay.
Thank you, Julie.
Thanks, Anna. I look
Good job.
forward to helping fill your pipeline. Great.
Yes, thanks. Bye.
Okay, so just a quick overview. This is a wonderful partnership of the business community really coming together to help our education system. So the DOE does not put a dime into this. This is truly a labor of Kuleana and all the businesses just contributing to make this possible so that we can gift it to the Department of Education and really do things in a different way so that they're not RFPing this, doing bare minimum, then RFP. We were able to dream, put this all together, build $1 million system that was for free, basically. And now we're gifting the resources of ourselves to the DOE. And so it's a partnership with the Hawaii Executive Collaborative and the Chamber of Commerce and many state and counties and private entities like Alaska Airlines, Hawaii Tourism Authority, Kamehameha Schools, so many. And we look forward to bringing you all in as well. This launched during COVID, and as we said, the business community said, hey, let's gift a way for everyone to connect, right? It's not the teachers' faults that they don't know, it's our jobs to make sure it's very easy for them to find all of these opportunities in Hawaii. And this last school year, it engaged over 200,000 students, over 10,000 teachers. We're doing over 800 events this past school year. We're excited because it's grown exponentially again. We're going to run our 2025 numbers shortly because the school year is ending. But it's across almost every single category you can think of. These were developed by education, by P20. So it's not my terms, it's what education uses and defines workforce/educational needs. So you can be involved in anything from an advisory board to career fairs, job readiness activities, which would be like mock interviews, to just simply being able to be available for guest speaking or providing teacher externships, job shadowing, project-based learning. All of these different items are there. I just presented to some teachers. I bolded the ones there that they always forget. The DOE puts job shadowing and teacher externships together, so I wanted them to make sure they knew in that category that's also for them. But I'm gonna skip the video right now. I want to just dive into this because I know we took some time and we only have 10 minutes left. So the tool, as I mentioned, is just our beginning point of connection. So we want to make sure you have that access. It's an educator to business connection point. You'll be going to bridge.climbhi.org. We do this onboarding because it's a private network. So if you tried to get access, you won't be able to. It'll just block you. We vet everyone before they come in. We like to make sure it's a safe environment and it's a productive environment where, you know, it's everyone in there for the right purpose on both ends. So we train all the teachers and then we train all the businesses. You can have as many folks in the system as you'd like, and everyone will receive all the notifications. So it's if you don't want to receive the notifications, it shouldn't be in there. We build it so that one person doesn't hold up the system on the business side. So if you're, say you had an assistant in there and then she quits and then all of the opportunities are held up because no one knows what she said, where she said it, you'll see how we've put the system together. But before I dive in, I just really, the bigger picture in all of this is that we're able to connect, and the portal is just a portion of it. Because the business mindset and how I came to this, I started this entity 13 years ago because I came from Kohala, remote area, and was left out of so much, and I just didn't understand why the world needed to work that way, right? Why are you left out of opportunities just because of your location, your parents, right? Socioeconomic backgrounds. We need to make it more equitable. And so this tool and all of our networking makes it equitable for Ka'u to have the same opportunities as Farrington. And so really the portal is just a small part of the solution. And we're really working towards outcomes of helping these students get hired and get into whatever it is. When I say hired, I mean that generally do they want to go on to college? Great, let's help. Do they want to go and do part-time work before college? Great, let's help. Do they want to do full-time work? I'm not sure how many of you know the stat, but 50% of our students for Hawaii do not go on to anything. So the fact that education spends so much time focusing on post-secondary, we really need to spend the same amount of time on non-post-secondary because our state is half-half. And so we really see ourselves, we're non-biased, we will help you in any situation. So we're never saying you must go on. All we do is show you the jobs that are available without post-secondary and with post-secondary. You decide. The other beautiful part of us working together is that we're able to create efficiencies and modernization, as I call it. If we in business do not modernize our concepts, education is going to keep asking for the same things, which is non-scalable, inefficient, and I think unsuccessful opportunities, internships, mentorships. We can barely do them for college students, let alone high school students. And then at the scale, there's 170,000 DOE students. How are we going to reach that number with our businesses? We need to create more scalable options. Plus, a high school student doesn't need 200 hours to figure out, right, whether they like the job or not. And you as a business person don't need that much time either. Especially if they hate it and you hate them from the start, it's like, oh gosh, now we're stuck. It doesn't make sense. So we are working to create these modern concepts, and now there's a platform to serve it all up. So for instance, here, West Hawaii, we've consolidated their exposure. Something that was said could never be done, but when you bring businesses together, now it's all possible. So they could never come together. The schools are so far apart, Honoka'a, Kohala, Konowaiana, Kealakehi, to do something, and they also didn't have the buses. But our charter companies came together. We had a hotel midway, the Mauna Kea, donate their location, and now 2 years and running, we have a West Hawaii Consolidated Exposure Fair. And over 60 businesses come to that to expose our kids to opportunities. And that's solving a problem that the schools have when they say, hey, when we do career fairs at our schools, kids don't want to come. It's not exciting. And it's parents primarily. You know, it's not us coming together. When we bring this, we're bringing the entire company, right? Hawaiian Airlines is sharing the 60 jobs they have available. They're not bringing, it's not a pilot going to a school because they're a parent and talking about being a pilot. But the main reason for all this is that our kids really need to be exposed. And this is not saying anything you don't already know, but it's great when we have the data to back it up as to why it's important for us to be out there exposing our kids as soon as possible. Before that West Hawaii event, the 400 plus students were surveyed, and 100% of them only wanted to do jobs in their pathway. That's all they knew. Right after the event, only 22% were then interested in careers in their pathway. It's just eye-opening for them to be able to see all the options and to understand that they can be economically self-sufficient in Hawaii. So over 78% of them were interested in careers outside of their current pathway, just by that immediate exposure. And so this also leads to wonderful ways for you to not have to just say yes. By coming and joining this ohana, you're joining a whole hui of support. So if you're getting requests for, hi, can you do an internship, and you can't do that, there's no longer a need. You can serve up what we've deemed exposureships. These are flipping the model on what you can do versus what you can't do. And so these are 3 examples of companies. Alaska Airlines is very small, believe it or not. They only have a few corporate people. They can't do field trips. They can't do guest speaking. They can't do anything in person because they're lean and mean. But they still need to fill their pipelines. And so we sat down with them and understood. They said, hey, what can you do? They said, but we have a lull in the middle of our day for a few hours. And if you could bring the students for 4 days, doesn't have to be in a row, we could show them every job. And oh, by the way, if it's 8 students or less, we can get them cleared for the runway and they can actually do the jobs. And that's what we did. And so from a company that always said no to now 8 students can come learn all the jobs. And then the students were loving the company. They went and applied to work there. Those outcomes were unexpected. And they didn't even need to apply and they didn't even need to do an interview. They just went straight to the application and were sent their training date because the team already knew them. And so it was so successful that we now do it statewide twice a year. And so they went from nothing to now 64 students a year getting exposed to their business and dying to apply as soon as they turn 18. But we call these are exposureships. So turning problems into opportunities for education that are scalable. So Made in Hawaii Festival, the picture on the bottom, they have a challenge with filling their volunteers every year. But that's the largest festival in Hawaii. There's tons of entrepreneurs, hundreds, right, that are there. So we invite business pathways to come and we do a whole educational experience. We do a pre-training with service excellence. They come, they get trained for the event. They do their shift, they get a shirt, they get fed. They interview at least 3 CEOs as to how they scaled, any challenges in their business. They go back to their schools, they put together their presentations, then they come back and they present. And their presentation is their interview. So all the companies that were involved, they present to, and then right after they get to go outside and get hired. Because what we've done is we've expedited their project-based learning and their capstones for their senior year. So they're done. And Made in Hawaii Festival is in August, as soon as they started school, and they're ready to work. So just really working on, challenges that exist and turning them into opportunity points. The last one is Mana Up here. Melly's always focused on adult cohorts for her Mana Up stores and their whole business model. And so we said, there's lots of students that are interested. And she's like, I got no time. This is super, I got no time to do all of this. I said, it's really easy. And so we brought the students down before their store opens on the Big Island. And the kids got an hour of entrepreneurship 101 from her. And then we did a Shark Tank so they could each share their products, where they were, and she gave them advice. Super simple, went from a no to a yes. These kids feel amazingly supported. And this is what we're trying to do for business, is that you now have a way forward where you don't have to keep doing the same old, and for us to help you serve it up and to fill that immediate pipeline for it. So hopefully that gives you a better sense I'm going to show you the platform, but it's really about our discussions from that, of what you need, what you want to do, and then we build all these custom things from that to make sure that your goals are reached. I'll stop there while I get into the platform. What questions can I answer? Okay, so this is what you'll be getting access to. And like we said, this is meant to be full service. So it's not meant to add anything to your teams. I just want you to see where everything sits as that base point for the data tracking. And now it gives you a new way forward of measuring everything that you're doing. You can send everything through here. Public schools, private schools, they're making requests. Businesses are now using this as their central tracking mechanism. You do awards at the end of every year. So now there's like a AAA rating for businesses and companies where you're now, when you get this award, it's against all the thousands of companies for the year that did community, right? Community service, whether it's through hours, whether it's through number of events, we're tracking all of it. You get all the data as well. So this is a view of the educator side of the house. They are all aggregated by their schools. They log in and say they want a guest speaker. So there's 13 categories. You can be live in any which one you want. You don't have to be live in all of them. Say they're looking for a guest speaker. They come in. I know I'm down to 1 minute, so I'm just gonna quickly show you. So they'll, teacher comes in. There's 242 opportunities sitting in here right now. They can filter whichever way they want, by pathway, by island, by grade level. And this for you is how you can slice and dice the world too. So you can say here, Leanne's Ju for the women in STEM. She only wants to speak to Oahu, but all grades. A lot of these entities are okay statewide, all grades. But Hawaii Ventures at UH only wants to do high school and post-secondary statewide. Pilina Education Alliance only wants to do high school statewide, right? So you put yourself wherever you want. And then when they click in, they'll see an overview of your entity. We build this all in for you. You put in any requirements. So here, Keikioka Aina says, we need 2 weeks for your request. So please make sure the dates are outside of 2 weeks. Teacher says, yep, I can fulfill that. Okay. And then they'll put in their who, what, when, where, why. And then they put in, they can upload a document if they want, put in the number of students and teachers expected, and then that goes across to you. So everything in the system is email notified. That's why we're saying you can have multiple people if you want. This is what those emails will look like when they come across to you. It'll say, Everest Innovation Lab, you received a request for guest speaking from the educator at which school. And then you're able to see the messaging here and then click in to review the request. It'll take you right directly into the system. I'm gonna jump over to the business side real quick. So this is what it'll look like when you're coming into the system. It'll say your business dashboard. And we can do it all for you, or you're welcome to manage it yourselves. But once we have it set up, there's not much that you really need to do. But there's the different categories here. The ones in blue are the ones that I'm live in for my fake business. And you can click into any one of them to add an opportunity. So I'm going to go into my guest speaking. And you can add a new one here by just clicking. And then this is where you'd put in any requirements that you have. So lead time, the main one is lead time, 2 weeks. And then this is all the filters that you can do, all the different pathways that are relevant. We love this because education thinks that every business is attached to one, right? And it's not. There could be, let's go over a hotel, right? Hotels have health services, business management, culture and arts departments, law and public safety. They have IT departments. They have education, hospitality, tourism, right? There's architects. So, you could be in all of them and be in your Everest innovation. So it's really up to you to put in your information, and then you just click save at the bottom. If you want all the islands and everything statewide, you just leave these all blank. Okay. Once you have requests that come through, in order to manage them, we make it really easy. There's this orange button all over the site. And like I said, the minute you get a request, you'll just click the button, it'll take you there. But this is just a summary area. You can get to it multiple locations. It's a request and summary. It tells you everything that's going on for your entity, how many requests, how many pending, accepted, declined, any general inquiries that are coming through. Those are general questions. And then you're able to accept or decline. And so by being in the platform, you're not guaranteeing anything. You're just now opening up that network of send me your request. Let me see if I can come throughout the semester to come and guest speak for you. And so you can decide whether you want to accept or decline. And so here's an example of the one that just came through May 13th. Tells you all the information, pending, not yet seen. It's going to be open for 15 more days. We just assume if you're not going to reply, we're just going to close it out because we don't want the teachers to keep waiting. We do this because everyone's very responsive. So then when you come to accept an opportunity, you've already connected with the person, so you're accepting it for the date that you guys have agreed upon. The start time, I'm going to do a 10 o'clock speaking engagement at the school on June 19th. I'm going to come by myself for 1 hour, and number of students and educators. These are usually pre-populated in here for you. And then I need some arrival information. And then if you're going to say you're bringing 2 people and you want to do the volunteer hours this way by person, you can do it that way as well. Okay, and then you click complete. And then that accepts, that shoots, everything is automated in the system. So it shoots confirmations out to the school saying, yay, your event has been accepted, and that's all good to go. Even after you've accepted something for the future, you can edit it. You can change your mind. The communication channel stays open the whole time. And even in here, if you want them to call you directly, we allow you as the business to define your communication structure. This was built, as we said, by many top CEOs with HEC. They wanted to stay anonymous, so we made it so you can stay in the platform, or you can just have them call you, whatever you want, but make your decision in the platform, and then you guys can open up communication. So if you need to reverse the acceptance, change your mind, connect, everything is all built in here. It will shut off after the date of your event, and then there'll be one last stage, and that is your review, and that's where all your data comes in. So I'll just show you what that looks like. And then you have your, so it says here, event done, review needed, and it's a really quick, it's the same form that you filled out, just making sure the data is correct, and that's what you want logged. So here's that same form, start date, end date, hours, was it a good experience, bad experience? You could put in your positive, negative feedback, and then submit, and that is sent across to the opposite party, and it's also stored in your data. So that's the last piece here in your request and statistic. This is what the businesses love, is that all your data is stored real time. I'll stop there. So in here, this blue button is your export. So every activity, everything you've done goes out into a CSV, and you're able to have the date of the event, the hours, the number of volunteers, the number of students, number of teachers, the feedback from the school, the feedback from your end, everything is in the CSV. Okay, I know we're over, so I'll stop right there. I'll put my contact information, and so if anyone has questions, I'll stay on, and for those of you that are good, I will send you your login information right after this.
Julie, what have you seen as a pressing need, or like, have you seen an increase in demand in certain community help?
So the main categories, if you guys are okay, is to get you live in guest speaking, career fairs, judging and coaching, and advisory boards. Those are the most popular and the least committal, right? So you'll get to see and then decide from there if you want to do them. So for instance, right, guest speaking is very open. Right? You get to choose the days. Primarily, we teach the teachers to ask for, you know, hey, we meet this whole semester. Here's our benchmark and standard. The exposure, I call them, I'm changing career fairs to what I call exposure fairs, moving it away from the go around, see a table to 1 minute, 5 minute. They get to roam for 1 minute, they need to sit down for 5. So we're moving to that, and that's a great one to just meet, network, decide if you want to do them or not. And then judging and coaching is another way to make your inroad into the schools. Go for you know, a judging experience for the senior class, for their capstone projects, meet the teachers, and start achieving the goals that you want to achieve with the community. And then the last one is advisory boards, because the schools don't know. So they're constantly, whatever another school has for the advisory board, they ask the same people. And then what happens is the same people are on every single board. And one person lives in, like me, right? I live in town and I'm getting asked for Kahuku, when there's tons of business people that can go right there in Kahuku. So what that one does is it allows you to be open to the schools to make those requests. So those are the 4 that we recommend you start with. And if 2 weeks notice is okay, we will preload you in all of that. So those of you that are on the call now, my email, if you don't have my email, it's right there. If you can email me and let me know if you don't want to be live in those categories, and if you'd like, if you are okay, we're gonna, if I don't hear from you, we're gonna load you. And then if you need a longer time frame, if you need 3 weeks or 4 weeks notice for this, what that means, right, is the teacher will make it and tell you, hi, are you available for an exposure fair? And it could be 2 weeks out. Most people put 2 weeks, but again, if you can just email me real quick, and then when I give you access, I'll already have you preloaded for the guest speaking, judging and coaching, career fairs, and the advisory boards, just to get started. You can look at the rest later and decide if you want to do project-based learning or jobs or any of those things.
And then Julie, I saw the filters for grade level. For my operations, we do need people who are 18. Do you have age filters? If we did want to post.
So yeah, so for job, right, that would be an 18 plus, you put that in the requirements. But in terms of exposure, it's more about segments. Are you okay doing things for elementary, middle, or high school, or post-secondary only? Those are more generalized versus like needing to hire only 18-year-olds.
Gotcha.
And then if you have something more targeted, like, yeah, Julie, I want to do an exposure ship just for 18-year-olds, then let's talk about that. And then I typically will handhold all of those, so we make sure that it's a direct guided experience.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Julie. Thank you so much for presenting. It's really amazing to see all the work you are doing. I mean, I Googled you before this meeting and I just saw all the, it's really cool initiative. You've been doing it for such a long time. So congratulations for that. Congratulations, of course. But also I was thinking, so when I came to know about this program, it was University of Hawaii student. He was undergraduate. So can I hire somebody from UH, or do you also do those things, or?
Yes, sorry. Today was like a general overview. We have, I kind of skipped the last slide. So with the technology, we are then, as you can imagine, you can do private labels. You can do all kinds of connection points. So we private label into the University of Hawaii, and we're actually in the process right now of getting an agreement together to manage the entire UH system for all of their internships and jobs. So right now there are certain departments like the engineering department that are running their internships through ClimbHi Bridge. So it's a loaded question when you ask me that. I have to kind of chat with you on the side, because we are doing some, but it's not a system-wide thing yet, right? So not every major is running through ClimbHi Bridge.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
But yes, we do focus on college as well.
And so the next step would be sending you my email address, or I can just send it here in the chat.
Yeah, I think to give you on this, I have your email, right? Because you're on here. So I have everyone's emails, and then from here I'll create your entities, and then we'll and Kaipo, I believe you guys are already live, so I just got to get you in there. But are you guys all okay? Guest speaking, career fairs, judging and coaching, and advisory boards?
Yes.
Okay. 2 weeks notice, okay, or do we need 3?
3 weeks would be good.
3? 1, 2, all 3? Okay, 3 weeks notice. Okay. And then for those general categories, anyone want, Kaipo, you guys want to be Hawaii Island specific, yeah? Or do you care?
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, for the most part, Hawaii Island specific.
Okay. And then everybody else, you guys are okay statewide? And then
Oahu.
anyone, go
My
ahead.
preference would be Oahu.
Got you for Oahu.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you say statewide, you know, we can say Oahu in person. So say, like for advisory boards, if they're okay with you being virtual because they really want your expertise, you could totally make yourself
Sure.
available. So if you wanted to get that exposure and you decide, we'll just put in there that it's for Oahu in person, and everything else would need to either be virtual or enough lead time that you could fly
Yes.
if they're willing to fly you, right?
Yes, sounds great.
And then Sam for you guys. And then anyone have any age limitations that you only want to speak to high school, or you only want to do middle and a higher?
First, we're fine going out and speaking to any age group, but if we wanted to, you know, we originally I think reached out to ClimbHi looking at the internships. So anybody who comes into the office would have to be 18.
Okay. And that
Yeah.
one, so the categories we're focusing on right now are not internships. So it's
Yeah.
the general career fairs.
So that's fine.
So those are okay, any
Yeah.
age, and then you can decide if you want to take them or not.
Yeah.
And then Sam, we can set up further, now that you kind of get this, we can set up, you know, further meeting to kind of dive into, okay, we really want to do internships, Julie, how do we do that?
Mm-hmm.
And the right people if you guys want to have others jump in the call. Okay, I got you guys. I got you all set to start, and I will email you right away.
Thank you so much, Julie.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you. Aloha.
You.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you all. Aloha.